Hey friends, it's Deanna here, and today we're making the cold shoulder jumper. This is a really cute pattern, and I'm excited because I'm all into jumpers and rompers right now, so I've been making them like crazy. So I haven't made this one yet, so this is really exciting. But before we get started, let me remind you about our fun fan giveaway, a $50 Ellie Mac gift certificate for patterns. And so all you have to do to enter to win is to subscribe and comment below and let me know you're subscribed, and you will be entered to our drawing. So go ahead, if you're not subscribed, pause the video, go subscribe, comment below, and you're entered. And that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I already yes, I already sewed up the pattern, so good luck. But no, I already cut up my pattern, so we're gonna go ahead and get it sewn up. So if you're doing the dress version, you will have a different top and a different bottom. Top, you will have a different front and back, because the back will be higher, because obviously you won't have to fit your whole kid through the neckline if you're doing the dress. But I'm doing the jumper version, so you'll have the both necklines. The back and front will be the same neckline, which is a lower neckline, so that your kid can fit through the neck hole. So that's why the neckband will be different, and you'll see that it's a little bit different. It's the same steps, but it just looks a little bit different. So we're gonna go ahead and sew the shoulder seams first. I'm using a serger, but you can use, if you don't have a serger, you can use a stretch stitch on your sewing machine. This pattern is made for knit fabrics that have stretch. And the stretch is needed for them to get in and out of the romper. Alright, so shoulder seams are sewn. Now we're going to sew our sides together. I'm just cutting these little edges. We're going to sew these sides of the top. Do you love rompers? Jumpers? I made the Whimsy romper for my little niece. I've made about 10 South Shore rompers. And so yes, I am like in a romper kick right now. I love them. My son is asking me to make him the beatbox romper. I haven't made it yet, and I was a little bit concerned because he is 8 years old, if he can get in and out of the romper, but I've seen other people do it. So we're sewing the sides, right sides together. So I think I'm gonna go for it and sew him one, because he wants it. I don't know if he'll wear it out and about, but he'll probably just wear it around the house. Just because he'll probably get really hot. Maybe I'll wait till it's a little bit cooler out, because right now it's like summertime. It's so hot. So I just made him the Be Active shorts, and he loved those. And so that's kind of nice. But anyway, back to the romper. So I sewed the sides up. Now we're going to go ahead and work on our sleeves. I am doing the short sleeve, tiny little sleeves. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a memory hem, especially with these really tiny ones. It's good to have a memory hem, because then it's easier to hem them when I'm done putting them together. So it's 1/2 inch. Memory hem just means I'm just going to steam it down, and so I'm not going to sew it yet. I just steam it down so it'll remember where my hem is. So when I'm getting ready to hem, it's already folded. Easier. It's just easier. It makes life a lot easier when you do this. You don't have to if you don't feel like it. You don't gotta do what you don't want to do. Now we're gonna go ahead and fold it right sides together here at this at the edge, and sew it together. All right. Well, I cut this crooked, so I'm gonna fix it. I don't know how I did that. And I'm gonna do another memory hem because that was a little bit off. But that's okay. sometimes I get too eager when I'm cutting. It did look a little funky. I wonder if I cut the other one odd too. It's just a shorter sleeve now. It'll be fine. Let's see this one. Cut this one right. I don't know. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna sew those together, the two sides of my sleeve. If you have a long sleeve, obviously it will be way longer on the side, but this is just a short sleeve. That's why it's just a little piece right here. It is so rainy outside, and my hair is just like doing its thing. But yeah, it is, so it's like dark in here today. So weird. I love when it's like really bright outside, and so it's like really bright in here, but right now it's like, all right, so what we're gonna do with our sleeve is we're gonna line up this seam right here of the sleeve that we just made with the seam, the inseam of your top at the arm side. Match it up right there. Pin, ow, I just pinned my finger. And then we're gonna go out to one side, just where the shirt ends. The sleeve, that side of the sleeve ends. There's like, it comes to like a little drop off right there. That's where we're gonna stop, okay? So it's not the whole sleeve, it's just like half the sleeve. Just go with it. It has the little area right there where it ends. You can see that it ends like in that little peak. That's where we're gonna stop serging or sewing if you're sewing. Stretch stitch or serger. So I'm gonna do my serger. So I'm gonna go ahead and serge that on. Make sure you don't get anything else other than your sleeve. You don't want to serge anything else on. And the part of the sleeve that you want to be serged on. See right there? It is sewn on at the bottom. All right, so I left it there for a second. So now that I went ahead and already put my sleeve on, I'm grabbing my sleeve band and I'm gonna fold it down the middle first and steam to make a crease right there. Then I'm gonna fold it, go ahead and fold it again. My two sides are gonna be coming in. One side and then the other side, they're gonna be coming in right to the middle. It's just getting darker and darker over here. I can hear the rain splatter outside and it's just so nice. I love it. Okay. And then once, see these two sides come in to the middle. Now we're gonna go ahead and fold it down the middle. So those two sides get tucked in and then we're gonna fold them again. So they get tucked, those sides get tucked in there. We're making a binding for the sleeves. For the sleeves. As you can see, if you open it up, there it is down the middle. Bloop. All right, so now I'm gonna open it up and I'm going to grab those two sides, the raw edges, right sides together, and I'm gonna sew it to make it one continuous band. Okay, so I folded the band, serge down the middle. Now I'm gonna find my quarters so I can quarter it so I can easily put it on there. So if I fold it in half, here's my seam, this will be my 1/2, and then I put the back and the front along with it, and I'm going to go to one side, and then we're going to do the same to the other side. And then my sleeve pretty much already have my halves I'm just gonna go ahead and measure and go out here to the one side, and that's gonna be my 1/2. But I'm gonna go to all the little seams. So I'm gonna put this in on the inside. I'm gonna match the seams with I'll put the seam at the bottom of the sleeve, and I'll put the seam at the top just so it'll continue the seam. I'm trying to think where I want it. It doesn't matter. And you're gonna put the right side of the band to the wrong side of the sleeve. But we're gonna go ahead and match all those points. Again, wrong side of the band with the right side of the sleeve. And I'm matching all those 1/4 points that I made. And then now I'm going to go ahead and sew them on. I'm going to start at the seam and I'm going to go all the way around, making sure I'm not catching anything else but the sleeve. I'm going all the way around, moving everything else out of the way. Now I'm gonna go ahead and that's on, and I'm gonna steam this edge, the seam down towards the bodice. So now I'm going to flip it out and fold this band on the first fold and then on the second fold, the folds that we made. And that second fold is gonna come right over that seam.
That second fold, fold it once, then that second fold will come right over that seam, cover that seam.
And I'm gonna use pins and pin it all the way around. Or if you have clips, you can clip it all the way around. And then you're gonna top stitch it. You can use a zigzag stitch, you can use double needle, you can use a cover stitch, which is what I'll be using. This is all up to you. I'm just trying to get it over. And so then after we do this step, you will go ahead and hem the sleeve. All right, so I'm pinning all this all the way around, and then I'm gonna go in with my cover stitch, like I said, and I'm going to top stitch it around. I just wanted to show you, folded it all the way in and show you how it's going to go. You're gonna tuck that seam in there.
See it right there? And I'm gonna go ahead and top stitch all the way around.
I'm gonna go ahead and top stitch and hem the sleeve, and then we'll come back to do the neckband and put our bottoms together. All right, so now that my shoulders are attached, so cute, I'm going to do my neckband. If I find where my neckband is. This is my neckband. Where did I put it? Here it is. Neckband. Okay, so what I'm going to do with my neckband is I'm going to fold it right sides together. And so right there at the edge, basically the same thing that we did with our armbands. No, I guess not, because that's a binding. Okay, so there we go. And then now I'm going to fold it wrong sides together to make a casing, kind of like a hot dog style, wrong sides together. And I'm going to steam them together so they will stay. Hate that I have to lick my fingers every time, and my hands are so dry. It will not, like, anyway, just slides right off. Okay, so here we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and steam them. Okay, so now here's my band seam right here, the one side. I'm gonna go to this side and we're gonna clip. That's gonna be my half, or you can just use a little pin and then mark your half. I accumulated all my pins over here when we were sewing that neckband, those armbands. Okay, so those are my halves. Then I'm gonna meet my front and my back together and go out to the sides, and those will be my quarters, my quarter points. One side, other side. And when I snip a tiny little bit, not enough to make a difference, just enough that I'll be able to see it, but then when I sew it on, you won't even be able to tell. I'm gonna do the same thing to the neck. We're gonna find those points. If you're, like I said, if you're doing the dress and your neck is higher, that's okay. It's still gonna be the same way. We're gonna meet those shoulders together, go to the front, snippy snap, go to the back, snippy snap, and your shoulders are not your quarters. So you gotta meet your front and your back together and go out to one side, and then you, well, on this, okay, I take that back. On this one, they are your quarters on the romper because they're the same, but on the dress they won't be your quarters. So you'll have to meet those together and go to one side and then go to the other. So now you're gonna choose which one is your better looking side if you're doing the romper, and so that will be your front. So because it's the same, the back and the front. So now we're gonna grab our neckband and we're gonna attach it right sides together to the raw edge of the neck, and we're gonna meet up those quarter points with the quarter points we marked on our top. Right sides together, right at the raw edge. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and sew it on. I am using my serger again, once again, and then if you have a serger, you can use your serger. If you don't have a serger, you can use a stretch stitch on your sewing machine. That will work just fine. It would help if I put my foot up. I always sew my neckbands face up. I want to see how much of the neckband I'm eating, and then I pull a little bit and I go. And make sure that you're sewing all 3 layers of your neckbands. Sometimes I get to talking and I don't realize that I'm not sewing the bottom layer. Then I have to go back and fix it. Make sure you're using, getting your 3 layers, nothing more, nothing less. You don't want to catch your other part of your dress and of your romper, and you're all perfect, and then you cut it with your serger. Don't ask me how I know. No, I'll tell you how I know. It's happened to me before. Happened to me before when I was making it. That was on like my last step, and my serger caught it, and I almost cried. All right, and now my neckband is done, and I'm gonna steam it down. Oh, I keep getting caught on the thing. And my top is basically done. Here's like a cold shoulder little tank top. If you want to hem it, you're done. And now we're gonna move on to our pants to do our romper. Here is my one pant leg. I want to do it on one pant leg, and you're gonna do the same thing to the other pant leg. So here's my, I think this is my front. And no, that was my back. This is my front. The reason how I know which one's the front and which one's the back is because the back, the rise is higher, the front goes down a little bit. But everything else on the sides will meet. So we're gonna sew the sides together, right sides together on the inseam and on the side seam. We're gonna sew those 2 together. So we're gonna pin, and like I said, I'm doing it on this leg, but I already did it on the other leg. So we're gonna do both legs. If you're doing the dress version, you're just sewing the 2 sides together on your dress. You don't have pant legs, so you just have 2 sides. side and now the inseam. I'm not sewing the crotch. Oh, oops. Almost broke my, and I just ran over my iron cord again. Ugh. Let me get it out of the way before it falls on me. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna flip one of the legs over. So I told you I already did it on the other leg, the same thing. I'm gonna flip one of the legs over and I'm gonna tuck that leg right into the other leg. So right sides together. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and match up the seam at the bottom, the crotch area seam. Match those two up right there. And pin. And go out up one side. All the way along the edge. And then we're going to go up the other side. So we're matching those raw edges. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Ah. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and sew that together. Now that our legs are sewn in, I'm going to open it up and you'll see that we have pretty much our pants together. Romper pants. Romper pants. How cute. Now we're going to do our waistband. So I got one side of the waistband and then the other one, and we're going to put them right sides together. And we're gonna meet at the raw edge over here. My fabric is curling like crazy. Right here. Again, here's my pile of pins. My tomato is nowhere to be found. Probably hiding somewhere, taking a vacation. And we're gonna sew those raw edges. Raw edge, another raw edge. Then I'm gonna fold them, kind of like the same way that we folded the neckband. And this is like really rolling, so I'm gonna have to like maneuver it. Come on. Maneuver it. Come on, come on. And I'm gonna use lots of steam on this one, so it will stay. I guess I was still running over it. That's half of it. Almost there. Now the other half. I'm gonna pin this right here to help it. Ah! I don't know if you can hear my son in the background. He's telling his daddy about something he found. I'm not sure what. I was kind of trying to listen. If you saw my face, I'm like, all right. So my band is all the way folded.
As you can see right here, even though this is still curling, I might pin it. Here, come on, band. Hopefully your fabric is not doing the same thing to you. It was, the reason why it's doing it is because it was the edge piece. I was running out of fabric and this was the edge, so that's why I was doing it. I'm gonna find my halves or quarters, whatever you want to call it. I'm quartering it right here. That way I know where it goes. So we're gonna attach it to the bodice. So I've got my bodice. I'm gonna grab my waistband. And, oh, let me quarter those bodice so I know where it's supposed to go. We meet the two seams, and I'm going to one side and then to the other, and now I'm gonna go ahead and attach that waistband. So right sides together at the, no, it's not right sides together. We're doing the, yeah, it is right sides together, but we're attaching the folded edge to the raw edge of my top. So you know the folded edge, the edge that has the fold, that's gonna go attached to the raw edge of the top. Here's the folded edge, that's going to the raw edge of the top. You see that? So we're gonna go ahead and attach that folded edge to the raw edge. That makes sense. I hope that makes sense. What's gonna happen is we need that raw edge to attach to the pin because we need to leave a spot for elastic to go in. Almost there. All the way around. All right. So now we're gonna turn our bodice inside out and open up the band and make the seam go up. So when you open it up, that seam, that hem, whatever it's called, that seam that we just made is gonna be going up. So then when you attach, we're gonna attach our bodice, our bottom, sorry, to the bottom of the waistband, the raw edge. And we're gonna leave a little space, like a 2-inch gap to fit our elastic in. I'm gonna show you this in a minute. All right,
So the edge that you sewed, it goes up towards the top of the bodice, and then down here you have the open edge of the band, okay?
and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and insert our pant right into it, making sure our front goes to the front. Let's see, this is the front. So I want my front pants. That, you see the lower, so this is my front. So I'm gonna put it in like this. And I'm gonna match up those quarter points that I made to the pant.
Where are my pins?
Over here hiding. Okay, and that will create a casing for our elastic. Okay, and like I said, when you're attaching this, you're going to leave a 2-inch gap. Where's my quarter point? Here it is. A 2-inch gap somewhere along the side when you're sewing it, so you can insert your elastic. So I'm going to start like right here and leave a little gap to insert my elastic and then come back all the way around, okay? So I'm sewing the raw edge of my pants to the raw edge of that band. Make sure all three are tucked in there. You don't have to pull or stretch or anything because the elastic will do its job and it will bring it in. That's what the elastic is for, to bring it in and give it that waistband. This is just the casing. Right now we're making the casing for the waistband. Almost there. Alright, remember you're going to leave a 2-inch gap, so don't close it all the way up. Here's my gap right here where I'm going to insert my elastic. Here's my elastic, and I have a safety pin. I'm going to insert it through that gap. Go all the way around, and then when I bring it all the way around, I'm going to overlap it 1/4 inch. I made this elastic a little bit smaller than what it called for because this romper is for my niece and she fits a size 3T, but her waist is tiny. So I have to go down on the elastic on the waist so the waist will be tighter on her, or you know, not tight, but they will fit on her. All her ready to wears, they slip off her waist because it's still tiny. So they slip down. So mama has to fix them all the time. So it's good to make her something that will fit her. Alright, 1/4 inch overlap. And with my sewing machine, there's my tomato. Hi. I'm going to do a zigzag stitch over it. Going back and forth with a zigzag stitch over it. Make sure the elastic is correct. It's not all crooked. It would help if I go right on it. Okay. So now that my elastic is in and tight, I can go in and close that gap. I'm just gonna go in and serge that gap closed that I left open. And that is our waistband. You can go back in and top stitch it if you'd like. Go ahead and stretch out the elastic correctly. Look at that. How cute. This is the front. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead. The last thing that we need to do is our cuffs. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our cuff and fold it. And we're gonna sew that long side together to make it one continuous cuff. Then we're gonna fold it wrong sides together. And you can 1/4 your cuff, but I don't usually 1/4 my cuffs very much because they're small. So what I do is I just grab my leg and fit my cuff in there, match my seam. That's the one thing I do match. And then I kind of spread it out, get my pant leg, open it up, spread it out, and where that seam lands, I'm going to put a pin right here because that's my other side, like my half. And now I'm going to go ahead and sew. Remember, you're sewing 3 layers. The cuffs and the pant leg. Right sides together, raw edges. Sewing at the raw edge. Make sure you grab all 3. Get everything else out of the way, especially when it's a small part like this. You gotta make sure you get everything else out of the way that tries to get in here. Alright, here's my cuff, all finished up. We'll steam. And we are done with our romper. How cute is this romper? Can't see the whole thing, but it's really cute. It's really cute. I'll take a picture of it and post it. And I hope you had a great time with our tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions about anything I did. Please comment below to be entered for our giveaway. Somebody just walked by and I was like, who is that? And please comment, like, share with others. And if you're not part of our Facebook page or our Instagram, please come visit us. Our links are below. We'd love to see what you make, and we'd love for you to see what we're making. So I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.